Outstanding. I want to play one more for you all. And that's the extended version of that same video.
Is a blockchain. More galaxies form the universe, but the universe has... What is WIM? WIM is the first laptop in the world that works on VOBP, Voice over Blockchain Protocol. How does it work? Crypto data engineers analyzed and applied functions from the following areas: astronomy, maths, physics, psychology, sociology, economy, telecommunication, and informatics. To make things easier to understand, we will present a short demonstration. Let's think that a galaxy is a blockchain. More galaxies form the universe, but the universe has unique properties that we all know. It's infinite and it's expanding. Blockchain is defined like a virtual reality which works by clear rules from the beginning. So blockchain's ecosystem is increasing continuously because possibilities to create a blockchain are infinite, and the number of blockchains is multiplying year by year. A mathematics principle teaches us the following. Between 2 points, we have an infinite number of points. So we apply this principle in WIM's algorithm. This helped us to create an infinite number of connections. So the device is sending the same information in all blockchain in the same time to interrogate which one is the fastest. This is how we get a full speed connection. Authenticity of all users and information are verified by decentralized methods using miners all over the world. These methods improve security because they eliminate the human factor and third party. After security check pass, the ecosystem opens a communication channel which uses more private keys and encryption methods. Imagine the ERC20 is a language which can be understood only by us. It's like we have our own dialect. To improve the communication system, WIM is using an innovative algorithm which increases the encryption difficulty with every sent message. So if someone wants to join our conversation and learn our language, they must be accepted by both of us. Because privacy and security are our top priority, WIM is using an extra protection algorithm against blockchain attacks. For example, in the worst-case scenario, even though it is almost impossible, if somebody has huge costs to get more than 50% plus one blockchain hash power or blocks, it will take 3 days to hack a blockchain. Our software changes communication channel every 10 minutes using special techniques. These techniques are constantly improving using AI and machine learning.
Wow. So that's the blockchain now. let me ask you guys a question. Now that we've played that awesome video, how many of you totally understand blockchain technology now? Go ahead, let me see you say yes. And that's the beautiful thing about this is you really don't, exactly. It's still like they're using physics and math and science to try to come up with all this stuff that all me and you have to do. As Ryan Forrester said, block what? All we have to do is go and get more people. Now, there will be people within your organization who will eventually understand it. You're going to have some blockchain experts in your group, but you don't have to be one. It's just good to hear it all. It kind of fires you up, makes me excited, but you don't have to be an expert. What you have to do is be an expert in what you were created to do, and that is build a network. So build a network of people, and the rest of it will take care of itself. I want to go ahead and give the floor away. I have a couple of topics that I want to talk about today. One of them is the best is you'll get free when you get free. So don't let me forget that because it's been burning in my brain today, but I want to take a little quick technology break and try to see if we can get set up on Facebook Live. Zoom is a little bit unstable today, but go ahead and say hello to our new members and the seasoned members that have been around for a while. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, look, welcome. Look, I apologize for being late, man. I've been running ever since early this morning, and I said, I'm going to get back here. I'm going to get back here. And my plan was to get back here and And, I don't like to ask anybody to do anything I'm not doing. So I said, I want to have my grams of gold order. I was just talking to Mr. Delco about it. I said, before I get on the stream, so I got back here. So Mr. Berger said, Ty Best is here. I had you on my phone, my cell phone. And I was placing my order on my laptop. That's the only place I place orders from is my lap. I don't do that on my cell. So anyway, make a long story short, I went in and got me 10 grams of Stay Strong, 10 of the Stay Strong Bahamas collector cards, because I said I got to do a little contribution there. So I got me 10 of them things. Man, them things, anyway, whatever. I said, ooh. I got me 10 of them babies, and they're beautiful cards. I don't know what Mr. Delco asked what I'm going to do with them. I said, I don't know, but I want to get 10 of them. So I had 10 grams to the grams. So I ain't went there yet, Mr. Berger, and put it up there. But I just got them ordered. I even took a picture with my phone just to verify. I might have to send Mr. Delco because I don't know how to put it on the screen. But anyway, look, folks, we just called this together because we like to get together and talk anyway, number one, because all the things that's going on. But the idea behind this Gram-A-Thon hit me early this morning about 8 o'clock because I want to stay fundamentally sound, like what was talked about this morning on the call, that the fundamental of everything we do is save and go. Pay yourself first and save go. That's what I was playing with the numbers. How I play with the numbers is phenomenal. When you teach everybody in your organization how to do that one thing, that will set you free. I mean, all the other stuff gonna make you wealthy beyond your wildest imagination. But if you can get, when you get everyone in your organization to do that one thing, just the one thing, say go, pay themselves first. If they save 1 gram a month, don't get to where they're saving. Let me show you. I did, man. I sure. Let's see. I don't know. Will that show up? Can anybody see that? Let's see. I don't know how. Yeah. If I text that to you, Mr. Delco, can you put that on the screen so they can see that? I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah, text it to me. I get it.
Okay. You see the 10 grams. That's in one of my junior positions. But you also see 4 auto saves every week for $250 at one spot. That's just one. I got 5. But that's one on auto save. $250 every single one. I forgot. And it's like $250, $250, $250, $250. I mean, every week in that one position. Okay, I had so much gold accumulated in that spot, I have no idea. And then I ordered 10 grams of gold there. I'm telling you, I started playing them. Think about having 1,000 people on your team that did just one thing a month, or than 1 gram, especially the 1 gram of classic. That'd be $60,000 of business going through your team, your organization every month. Multiplies times 12, that's a $720,000 a year. You have just created a $1 million a year business. Another night I talk about what? Asset millionaire. You just created a $1 million a year business with 1,000 active people, and all they're doing is one simple thing that anybody can do. Forrest Gump can do it, that means I can do it. Anybody get 1 gram of gold a month. Okay? And watch this. And then you get them on that same mindset. I'm not talking about having millions of people. I'm talking about having, just getting 1,000 people on your team to do one simple task. Get on auto save for at least 1 gram. Pay themselves one time, at least once a month, if not every week. We got so many people in the world of Carabaos in there every single Friday. I got a guy right now. It took him years to get it, but he got it. And he said every Friday, he just, look, for the last 2-3 months, he's been going to buy him $150 profit package. I said, man, I learned from Mr. Dell. I said, why not just say the cash gold and then get you a bigger package? He said, Tom, I can't do that. He said, if I don't take and pay myself Friday, when I get that money, he said, by Monday, it's gone.
Wow.
I'm going to find something, the movies, my wife, it's gone. Wow. So the first thing, literally, he said, the first thing I do when that money hits my bank account, I go in and snatch out $150 by a profit package, get them coins, and give him a little bit of gold. He said, and now after months, because I got in the habit, when money come in my hand, I don't care where it comes from. Any side thing he do, any angle thing he do, no matter where it comes from, the first thing he does, he go to the computer and pay himself. He said, man, if I've been doing this for 30 years, he said, I can't imagine. Guy's over 50 years old. He said, I can't imagine what my life would be like. He said, and it's not that, he said, I don't even miss the money. He said, I miss it if I keep it in my pocket and spend it, Mr. Doe. He said, but I don't miss it. I go in there and spend that $150, $200 on me first. He said, and I don't even miss it. We still go to the movie. We still go out. We still having a good time.
Mr. Best, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Every time we get to rolling like this, Mark Pires comes in here and hits me upside the head. It's like, Mark Pyers, keep saying what you're saying until I finally get it, brother. He said, Mr. Best is smart because those cards are 100% tax deductible as advertisement. Jeez. Did you think about that when you bought it?
No. I
didn't think about it when you said it. I was like, oh crap, now Mr. Best gonna make me get 10 Bahamas cards. But I'm still thinking, like, I've got Mr. Pyers. Oh my God. Hold on.
You know what? I really bought the card because I said to myself, here's my CEO now, Dr. Harold Seitz. He think about the Bahamas before I think about Bahamas. Something ain't right about that picture.
What in the world?
You know what I'm saying? So he don't put the card back there, okay? And I said, okay, I cannot, my conscience won't I got to go get some of those cards. And 10's not enough, but I said, I start with 10, okay? And he gonna contribute $15 for every card I get to the Bahamas. I'm going, man, please, okay? I hadn't even thought about the tax benefits. I hadn't even thought about the card appreciating. I just thought about, I want to emulate the behavior of Dr. Harold Seitz.
That's a seminar, Mr. Best. That is a whole seminar. Okay, look, I brought Mr. Pyers in because this gentleman is a professional tax consultant or whatever that's called, tax professional. And he just understands this. You know how everybody has their niche? This is his niche. He brings, like Mr. Best's niche is build a network. Like no matter what you do, when Mr. Pyers says tax advantages, Mr. Best says build a network of people who get tax advantages. That's his niche. He's always driving back to get more people. Well, when he says get more people, Mr. Pyers said, yeah, because all of them gonna get tax advantages. I mean, that's their fire. That's just their fire. Mr. Pyers, thank you for continuing to drive that home.
You got to get it. Can you hear me, Mike?
I hear you, brother.
You got to get it. Every wealthy person, we got to get this. Every wealthy person has positioned themselves on the business side of the tax code because they know they cannot create wealth on the other side. Look, there's
wait, no, stop, Mr. Pyers, stop for a second. That's got my hair on fire. You listen, everybody to what I'm saying, including me. Listen, me, you will not, period, get on the wealthy side without being on the side he's discussing. You got to be on the business side or you will die broke. Unequivocal, point blank, in a discussion, drop the mic. That's it. Every time you do business,
that's it.
You got to be on the business side. Well, that's when people say the price of gold. Yeah, you're on the wrong side of the track. It doesn't matter what the price of the gold is. You're on the total wrong side thinking price.
No.
Go ahead, Mr. Pyers. Go ahead.
You know what, Mike? You just hit the ball. You just threw a curveball. So let me go ahead and hit it out the park. Okay. The price. I'm gonna give you two reasons why the price of gold doesn't matter. Okay. One is that if you compare gold, if you go back to the 1800s, or let's go back to the 70s, or heck, we go to the 2000s. If you compare the price of a house, a car, or anything you want, and convert that same dollar amount into gold, and you look at the price today, you'll find that your dollars from then has collapsed to zero. The purchasing power has collapsed to zero. Now you got to add more money on top of it, okay? So for no other reason, you cannot compare the price of gold to the dollar because the dollar will always lose its value. How are you gonna compare something of value, something that has a 5,000-year track record of increasing and holding value, to something that has a 100-year track record of declining in value? That's not even a proper conversation. But let's take this back to the business portion. Guys, you got to get this, okay? Past the 1 gram classic card, the 5 gram classic card, and the 2.5 gram. Care bars have, understand this, and Care bars, we don't sell anything. I don't have any gold to sell you. So we're just marketing individuals for Care Bars International. And because the IRS says, and I'm not going to give guys all of the cookies, you got to come to Let's Go Weekend and you got to be in that class. Because the IRS says that a business is an activity with the intent to earn a profit. What Mr. Best just did was perform an activity with the intent to earn a profit in his business. But here's what he did. He took some cars that he doesn't even have that Karatbars offers. Now, do you not think that it is common sense if you're sitting in an audit and an IRS agent asks you, let me see some of your advertisement to prove to me that you're actually promoting your business? How do people even know what you have? If you don't have any advertisement supplies, you're going to be labeled as a hobby. So now Mr. Best has 10 tax-deductible advertisement cards between him, his 2 sons, and his wife. And that just makes absolutely business common sense. And guess what? When you deduct the taxes, I should say, when you deduct the money that he's going to save from losing, and you calculate the gold that he got his gold for absolutely nothing. There is no price for gold.
For Karatbars gold.
For Karatbars gold. Oh no, if you go down to the local coin store, you done paid 35% before you got down there. So you got to add that 35% in taxes you paid on the $60 to get the gold. I tell people there's no better way to buy gold but in a business, because when I was buying silver from the coin store, I had to pay 33% on that income in order to take the $35 home. You got to get that part right there. Guys, there's no better way to create wealth. Robert Kiyosaki said you want to be on the right side of the quadrant, not on the left side of the quadrant. Every wealthy person has positioned themselves, their family, to build a legacy on the side of the tax code that reduces or totally eliminates taxation. You got to understand that proper conversation.
Good grief. Look, so to kick this back to Mr. Best, let me join that together with this. So Mr. Best always says, save gold, get crypto, tell people, make money. That's our business activity, right? So you don't have to, now take everything Mr. Mark Pines said, and on the tax side, it still comes back to, are you doing the activity in the first place? And what Mr. Best was just talking about, even unwittingly, of all that tax information, once he takes all of his invoices to his tax preparer, it's a cinch. You're winning from the very, Mr. Best, here's what I want to get to. Mr. Best said network marketing ruined him for traditional business. Now watch this join to what Mr. Pines said. Network marketing ruined Ty Best for traditional business. And Karatbars ruined Ty Best for network marketing, because in network marketing, all those products are depreciating assets. Here in Karatbars, you get the tax advantages and the product is increasing in value. It's an asset. You win so many times, you might not ever wrap your head around how big you win. Go ahead, Mr. Best.
You don't even know you're winning. I mean, I just did an activity because Dr. Harold Seitz created, I guess, a product, you want to call it a product. I took advantage of the product, not knowing all the benefits of taking advantage of the product. Okay, Mark Price would come along and say, "Oh, by the way, that's the tax."
100%.
I'm not even on that level. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. 2 things I want to say real quick. One was, but man, let me tell you guys something. I want to ask everybody to just relax and understand that you got to understand everybody would not understand what we're saying. No matter how much we preach it, because I'm going to tell you something. Mark Price, I mean, I know you might have been in elementary school when I first got into network marketing. I don't know. Okay, you might have been in high school. But I'm going to tell you something. In 1983, when I got involved in this industry, and I finished my first year in this industry, and I sat down with this tax specialist. 1983 now, guys. This is 35 years ago. I sat down. This guy prepared my stuff, did all my deductions. I had everything. When he finished, it was like $7,300. That's 1983. When I had a job, my wife had it. I said, whoa, hold up. I said, you telling me that I'm gonna get back $7,000? Man, I lost my mind. I said, everybody should be doing this.
Exactly.
I've been screaming this tax thing, okay, since 1983. Well, you know, it's one thing that somebody tell you about the tax benefits. It's another thing when you see it. I lost my mind. Look, I know people have been preparing people's tax for 20 years and they don't understand this. I said, anyway, one more story. I got a doctor friend of mine, may he rest in peace. We introduced him just to what Mr. Mark Pryor said. This was, I'm gonna say now 10 years ago. His first year of taking advantage of the tax code for home-based businesses, he got back over $13,000. He fired his accountant that year. He said, this man been doing my taxes for 20-something years, 30 years almost, and he's never told me something as simple as, and this is a physician, board certified MD. He said, all I had to do was start me a home-based business, be in pursuit of profit, and all this lifestyle stuff and all this stuff. Because he said, because you understand, folks, our business is on our phone. It's everywhere we go. It's 24/7. We go out to eat. I'm not a tax consultant. Check with your tax attorney. But everything. I mean, you think about tax deduction. I'm holding my hand. All those I just acquired, according to Mr. Mark Myers, I just bought 15 of these babies. Promote my business and to use as a tool. Tax deduction. Woo-wee. Okay. My wife and I, we don't do nothing but eat out. I don't know why we buy groceries anymore. Okay. We eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner out. Breakfast, woo. I don't know. Okay. Let's get off that, man.
Let me show you something.
Let's get off that. I'm gonna get off that. I'm just,
we got Ellen Austin on here too. I'm gonna show you something.
Oh, Lord.
I know, this is gonna be crazy. So Mr. Powers, you're gonna love this. So when we got ready to buy a car, Mr. Austin said, buy it in your company's name. Right? Right, you got that? So buy it in your company's name. He's like, buy the vehicle in your company's name. Don't buy it in your name, because that vehicle becomes property of the company. And the key is to own everything, but control everything, but own nothing. So Mr. Pires, what happens when I buy a car, besides the fact that I probably save $20,000 to $30,000 in interest payments? Because interest, y'all want to write this down, interest is the price you pay for not having enough money, right? What happened to me as far as taxes, Mr. Pires, for buying that car in my company's name?
So, well, one, you saved the interest. Two, every time you get behind the wheel of that vehicle, it spit out 59 cents per mile. So that oh my God, that depreciable asset that you bought now is an asset because it returns the money to you every time you get behind the wheel of that vehicle. You're also going to be able to write a large amount of depreciation off of that vehicle. Guys, look, that is my favorite tax deduction right there. Because I could be driving a 1979 beat up Volkswagen, and I will be able to save more money than that vehicle is worth probably 5 times for the rest of my life, as long as I'm in a business. If you're not in the tax class at Let's Go Weekend, you may as well go ahead and write a check for $10,000 every year and flush it down the toilet. I absolutely promise you, you just go ahead and do that. Now, I want to clarify something. Why I made that statement about what Mr. Best did, okay? And I made a statement at the end of it, okay? I said those cards are tax deductible as an advertisement. Guys, we got to get this, okay? So that doesn't mean that you go buy 10 1-gram classic cards and all those 10 1-gram classic cards are tax deductible. Guys, Care Bars has hundreds of 1-gram cards that you pass up because it says $79 or $89 and you think you overpaying. Let me tell you what you're doing. You're flushing money down the toilet, okay? And I'm going to show this at Let's Go Weekend. You should have a minimum of 2, and that's a minimum. If you're holding events, you should have a minimum of 5 of every gold card in that back office to put on display at your events. Why would you do that? Well, Mark, why would I do that? Show me a business that does not display the items in which they sell. You can't go to Best Buy or any electronic store and they does not have a display of the items that are in the, people need to feel, people need to see. And you're the CEO of your business. You determine what you need to do to make the profit, but you have to maintain, as Mr. Best said, a profit motive. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse not to be paying yourself first in this system, because you actually truly get paid to operate your Care Bars business. That is the first way you get paid in this business. The second way you get paid is to share with others. But the first way you get paid is to acquire every gold product in that back office. I don't care what the price is.
Paid to save.
The more the price, the bigger the savings.
Mr. Burger, Mr. Burger, give us a total real quick, and then we're gonna come back to Mr. Best and Mr. Austin.
Okay, Mr. Delco, can you hear me okay?
It's a little low, but I can hear you.
Okay. Right now we are looking at 40.4 gram. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put my camera back on here. We're looking at 40.4 grams out of the 430 this afternoon, sir.
40.4. Okay, we gotta roll. We're a little slow here.
Yes, sir. So back to you.
All right.
Hey,
cool.
look.
Go ahead.
Look. Because I don't know if my 10 grams. I put my 10 grams through my phone because I ordered 10 grams. I put the Gram-A-Thon through there. My 10 grams just a few minutes ago. So that was probably, well, right at 4:30. Well, now I might have been past 4:30.
Mr. Delco,
Yes, ma'am.
I've been getting a lot of questions. A lot of the new people don't really understand why we're doing this or what we're doing. So could you explain that? That might help.
Yeah, Mr. Best, let me defer to you. Go ahead.
I was going to say, look, it's not mandatory. Okay, just relax. We're really doing a training session. Okay, but we call it a Gram-A-Thon. The whole idea is to put the emphasis back on getting a gram of gold, making sure people are saving gold, and that's this whole training session really is about. This is a 2-hour training session to teach the importance, once again, to all new folks about this is ultimately what we do is we teach people to save gold and acquire gold. Okay, because when all else, no matter what else happens, do you have any gold? Are you building your net worth with gold? And are you saving gold? That's the whole idea. So nobody feel under any kind of pressure, condemnation if you do it or don't do it. The whole idea is get as many people as possible can to galvanize around this call. And it was last minute. We just announced it. It's not something we do all the time. I think we haven't done one since, I don't know, almost a year or so ago.
It's been a while.
Okay.
It's been a while.
So we wanted to do a little Gram-A-Thon just to put some emphasis back on the fact that, hey, we are in the gold business. Yes, we got the K1 phone. Yes, we got the laptop. We got all that stuff out there, but we are in the gold business. Okay, and Mr. Price said, look at my wallet. There's a Happy New Year card. There's a Voice of Africa card. Okay, there's 1 gram. Is that 1 gram or 2 gram? It's one gram card. Okay, there's my WBW collector card. Another WBW collector card. My 5 gram card. That's in my wallet. Okay, because I heard Robert Kiyosaki say what? Gold attracts money. So I try to keep $500 to $1,000 of gold in my little wallet all the time. And that's not all of them. And of course, I got my Care Bars cards in there too. Look, there's a little classic 1 gram card in there too. I keep some gold on me all the time. I want to attract gold. I like to attract wealth. I take Robert Kiyosaki at his word. He's on a few gold mines, and he said a guy likes to keep gold strapped around him. So me too. So that's the idea behind that. And so I would encourage, just like what he said, I keep some cards. Anytime I go do a presentation, I have cards to show along with my MasterCard and all those cards as well. And so, but that's the whole idea. It's not, don't feel any pressure. The whole idea is to teach people the importance of saving gold, pay yourself first, and save at least 1 gram of gold every month, if not every week or more. And so I went back in there right before I jumped on this thing and got me 10 of the Bahama cards, $82.50. As Mr. Pryor just said, the price don't really matter because if you handle it right, it makes you money.
That is just beautiful for you guys that are new. If you go in your back office and you go to product, can everybody see my screen? Yes, okay. When you go in your back office, go to product purchase. If you go to recently added, this is in the Carrot Bar side, recently added, there's the Bahamas card. Mr. Best, I'm sorry, brother, I'm not kind of where you are right there. I'm gonna get 2 of those, okay? And then I'm gonna go on over here and I'm gonna get some cash gold too. I just, I can't hang out with Tab Best. Tab Best will make you go broke, man, hanging out with him. Fortunately, we can write this stuff off on our taxes. So let's see, that's 6. Let me go, I've got 2, that's 6. Let me add a 6 gram, and let me go ahead and get a 3 gram. So I'm gonna up you, Mr. Best. I'm gonna go 9 grams. Since, wait a minute, I'm gonna go 11 grams. So let's see, that's 2 of those, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I got 11 grams, Mr. Best. I had to outdo you, okay? I had to outdo you. Let's go ahead and check this out. You click checkout, new people that haven't seen this before. You click the legal, click next. That's 626 euro. That's about $700. And next, your cart holds a product that can only be stored and will not be shipped with the rest of your order. All you got to do is read in Karatbars. Everything is explained to you. So that means that all the cash gold cards will be shipped, will be stored. The classic, the collector card, the Bahamas card will be shipped automatically. It will not be stored. I'm going to use my prepaid MasterCard and pay now. And order confirmation. Now, this is another thing that's cool about Karatbars. You can go to your My Gold and see all of your gold and the value, but also you can load your e-wallet. So you can load any e-wallet gold you got. So I can't classify the gold I got last night, Mr. Best, but I had 57 grams last night. So I'm not gonna cheat. I only got 11 grams today, 55 grams last night. So I got 11 grams today. So, no, I'm sorry, I had 57. I got 9 grams of cash gold today. So that gives me 66. Mr. Berger, I'm gonna add 9 grams to the total, and I'll do that on Gram-A-Thon.info. You can just add that to your e-wallet, hit submit, and you can use the cash gold to acquire crypto or product packages, profit packages, or the WIM or the K1 Genius phone. That's how it works. It's truly that simple. Sometimes people say, you know, the gold is overpriced, and I don't have the time to take them through the tax class like Mr. Pires just did. So I'll just get online and go dollar for dollar. Our cash gold is a better price than anywhere else in the marketplace. Back to you, Mr. Best.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay,
I think it's clear.
So
The
let me
new person who's on the call, though, Mr. Delco, keep that fundamental thing in mind. Save a lot of gold. Get all the cryptocurrency you can. And then tell everybody you can. That's all we're really trying to emphasize. Is just to, because we're so excited about all the stuff between the gold-backed cryptocurrency, the K1 phone, the WIM, the K merchant services. I mean, this is a big project we got going on here. Okay, we operate in 141 countries. I mean, what do you tell people when they say, what do you do? Okay, I just keep it simple. I say, I teach people how to what? Get paid to save gold. However it goes, get paid to save gold. I try to keep it simple. And then you respond to that. I might add something like, are you familiar with cryptocurrency? If they say, no, I said, don't worry about that. We'll get back to that. I try to keep it simple. My goal, I understand this. Let me emphasize this. I've said so many times, people move products. Okay? I don't care how great that computer is, folks. Now, one of them going to jump off the shelf and find their way to your house if you don't go in your back office and order it. See, it's just that simple. So you could become the smartest guy in the world on the K1 phone, and you have one. And I could be the dumbest guy in the world, but I have 10,000 on move because I have an organization. Okay, see, so keep the emphasis. The emphasis has been is I tell me what skill should I work on the most? I said, working your ability to connect, relate with people, to encourage people, to work with people, to build people, to build trust with people. That's the thing to work on the most. Because ultimately, that's what it boils down to.
And Raquel, I wanted to answer your question. She said I wanted to buy a profit package today, but I could not switch to Karat Gold because there's no switch button at the top of the screen. That is correct. Karatbars is working on 2 things. One is security, and the other one is consolidating our sites. So just go to, and I'll type it in the chat room, just go to www.karatgold.sg, and you can log in that way, put in your 2FA, and make your purchase. That's all you have to do. Also, I want to kick this over to Mr. Alan Austin because These two gentlemen, Mark Pyers and Alan Austin in particular, there's going to be a lot of great breakout sessions. But the early session, the 9 o'clock, was strategic. We put it at 9 o'clock so that your mind is at its sharpest to receive the financial trainings that we have placed. And those classes are at 9 o'clock. On Thursday, 9 o'clock, Mr. Austin is in one breakout room with a capacity of 150 affiliates. And Mr. Pyers is across the hall in the other one. You say, well, I wanted to take both classes. Well, no problem, because Friday, the classes switch. You can go to Mr. Pyers at 9, Mr. Austin at 9 on Friday. You can get both of those classes, and I highly recommend that you book both those classes. You should take all the classes that you possibly can, but those are the foundations of your wealth building, because as Mr. Pyers said, and the way I see it is like this. Mr. Pyers says, as soon as you sign up in Carrot Bars, you're in profit. Like literally every activity you do, from jumping in your car and turning ignition to eating dinner at a restaurant, even entertainment. Some of your clothing is your uniforms, on a flight, and the hotel that you stay in. If you're making an effort to build your business, you're in profit from the stuff that you used to be a consumer in and spend every dollar. Now every dollar turns, and a portion of it is returned to you as a tax benefit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's step one. Before you make your first dollar on your MasterCard, you're earning by being a business owner. And then Mr. Alan Austin on the back end, talking about how to protect your wealth and grow your wealth and pass your wealth to future generations. If you're not in business, you're not really even here. You're just a cog in the corporate America wheel. So Mr. Austin, good afternoon, good evening to you. Share whatever you want to share, brother. Don't give away too much, because we got a ticket on your head in Atlanta.
I know. First of all, let me just say thanks, Mr. Dalgo. I'm not going to stay on long because I have a deadline to meet for you to try to get this presentation to you in the next little bit. But I saw Ms. Glaspie's text message come across as I was working on it, so I figured I would jump on. I feel like there's so much I do want to share and say, but I'm gonna take your advice and not say too much, other than really I want to kind of hone in on one of the things that you mentioned about your car, specifically because I was having this conversation with my uncle and my parents, who happened to come into town last night. And as we were driving from the airport, talking to my uncle, who happens to be a physician, who's been a doctor for a long time, made a bunch of money, and talked about how he was negatively impacted from a tax perspective. And I used the car example, and I used it this way. I said, in corporate America, individuals, companies that, let's say, have a sales force, right? A lot of times those sales professionals are given a car to facilitate their business. And they use the company car at no expense to them, whether it be company covered insurance, reimbursement for gas, right? Payment for the vehicle. They get to use the car at the pleasure of the company to facilitate their business. There's no reason why you as an individual couldn't do the same. You, Mr. Dalco, president and CEO of Mr. Dalco Incorporated, are an officer of the company, enjoying the benefit of the assets of the company with no tax implication to you, the individual, which is why I said to you, go and get the car in your company name. So it becomes a tax, a bill for your company, which obviously from a company perspective, taxes are lower, but you, the individual, enjoying the benefit of the vehicle scot-free, right? And so to the point that Mr. Pyers made, and by the way, those of you coming to my class at 9 o'clock in the morning, meet me in Mr. Pyers' class, because that's where I'm going to be. Right? Right? But really, it's about the mindset change. You've got to change from a consumer to an owner. That's really the mindset that you have to get into, right? And I realized this, right? There was a point in my life where I had nice clothes and nice car and nice house and going on vacations, and eating out well and doing all those things, but I realized that none of those things were paying me until I became a business owner. None of them paid me until I became a business owner. So now all of those things that were putting a hole in my pocket actually helped me build wealth only when I made the decision to switch to the right side of the quadrant. So I will leave all of you folks who have not heard any one of us speak before, myself, Mr. Pyers, or anything like that, I'll leave you with this. The only way to achieve your financial goals, whatever they might be, is to go from the left to the right. You've got to stop being a consumer and think like an owner and switch to the right side of the quadrant. That's what I got for you. You're muted there, Mr. Dalco.
Man, y'all see what's going to happen in Atlanta at the breakout sessions, man. This is going to be a madhouse. Also, man, so I need to, Mr. Berger, I didn't go on there. Is it time for an update with the top of the hour?
Yes, sir. I'm working on it. Give me like about 2 more minutes, and I'll have
go ahead and add my 9. I'm putting it in right now, but go ahead and add it.
Okay. Give me another 2 more minutes.
Mr. Best, I was talking to a lady on a 3-way call today, and she made the statement. So we're gonna do a little training right here. She makes the statement. She says, I want to do this. I'm really feeling this. It's going to be good for me and my family. She said, but I have one concern. She said, I want to be real strong when I talk to people because people are skeptical. She said, people are skeptical. I want to be able to answer their concerns because I know they're skeptical, and I don't want to, just leave them there and just blow them off. I want to be able to answer their questions and their concerns. I said, well, you came to the right company and you're on the right team with Wealth Builders. Because there's one thing that Mr. Tybes taught me is a man or woman convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And we're not here to convince people. So if you encounter skeptical people, be okay with their skepticism and you keep it moving, right? You're not here to, Karatbars is not on trial. It's not on trial. And so I wrote this little topic down. I said, you'll get free when you get free. And what that means is you'll physically and financially get free when you get free from thinking that you gotta change people's minds and hearts. That's not your job. Your job is not to be this world-class psychologist and mind shifter. It's not your job. Your job is to sort. Mr. Best, how did you meet me?
I was sitting at my desk and the phone came. Somebody called me and gave me a phone number.
You're a genius.
I'm a genius, man.
You're a genius, man. Okay, the people on your team are gonna show up because dreamers attract dreamers. Here's the B side. Dreamers repel skeptics. So be okay with that. You're gonna repel skeptical people. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna attract dreamers. And the dreamers are the ones that are gonna run with you and y'all gonna get rich together. You don't need the skeptical people. Why would you even want them? That's not who you're looking for. And man, after I got through just pouring that into her, she was like, wow. Like, wow, okay, we're ready to go. Because people come into this industry thinking that they're coming in to become this guru that can talk people into getting in. You don't want to talk folks into getting into this. You want to let them have their opinion. Don't get mad at them. Don't even say, man, these folks, they don't get it. Don't put yourself through that. These folks do get it. I get it. Y'all get it. The people that are supposed to be here get it. You're looking for the people who do get it. You're not looking for the ones who don't. So that makes your business abundantly simple. When you say, do you look for ways to make more money? They said it sounds like one of them scams. Say, thank you for letting me know you're not who I'm looking for. Don't say that out loud.
But no. God.
There we go. Mr. Berger's got our update. And Mr. Best, I want you to pick up after our update here. Talk about that, man. Help the new people, help the people who may be struggling in their business. Over to you, Mr. Berger.
Yes, sir. All right, so guys, right now, since 5 o'clock, we have grown from the 40 gram to 102.6 grams. And I know the gramometer says 4,000 grams, but I modified it to 400 for now, although we can see some progress here. And guys, if we can do when we get 1,000 grams, it's gonna look like this. This is a fake 1,000 grams, but I gotta show it off just to give you a visual. so listen, guys, let's keep doing this, man. That's exciting. 102.6 grams. Mr. Delco, over to you, sir.
Back over to you, Mr. Best. Come on, talk about that. Let's do some training here. Oh, you got your mouth full. Are you having lunch while we're training?
I'm hungry. Look, I apologize. Mr. Delco, look, you said something. One of our challenges, folks, all we got to do is understand everybody's not going to get in. And if you come to grips with the fact that you're never going to run out of people, the thing that made me know I was going to become a millionaire in this business was when my sponsor, back in 1983, made me realize I'm never going to run out of people. And it's just numbers. I said, oh my God. And that's when I realized I could be a millionaire by choice. Because all I have to do is decide in my mind, I'm going to keep talking till I find the people that want to do it, no matter how long it takes. And even after 1 year when I hadn't found anybody that really wanted to do it, I said, let's see, I'm 30, I'm 29 years old. I got 36 more years to go in corporate America. Well, just want to keep doing this. Okay. I mean, see, it's not that deep to me. My son told me, stop using the word common sense, because there is no such thing. It's just sense, or you don't have sense, because what we think should be common sense to people, it does not exist. Okay. The average person, it just, and so you're looking for people that can think things through and have a little vision for themselves, a little bit of confidence. That don't mean you discard people, but don't be so upset when people are not ready to see what you see. And no does not mean no. No means not right now. Because the first guy I rolled in this business, he didn't do anything for 3 years. And 3 years later, he gets started and built $1 million business in 12 months. See, but you're looking for people to go right now, but don't be discouraged because you talk to 4 or 5 people. And the only reason you get discouraged because you was counting on those 4 or 5 people to be the ones to do it for you. Wait a minute. So you wouldn't have to do it. And the reason they don't join you, especially a lot of times in their family and friends, because they know you're counting on them to do it. Ooh. So you wouldn't have to do it. Whoa. And you all know the same people. They go, well, you got all our friends. Who am I going to get? Oh. I mean, the stuff gets deep. You got to get past all that and realize there are more. You can walk out that door right now and meet 30 people today if you're motivated enough. Wow. If you're inspired enough, you can walk out. I don't care where you live on this planet, you can go out and meet 20, 30 people every single day if the dream is big enough and your desire is strong enough. Never go around people. And my sponsor, I'm going to go this one more time for the new people, show me how to do it in the most unorthodox way. Okay? So I'll never forget, I've told this story a dozen times in the last 5 years. I'm doing the business, been in the business 2 weeks, and we traveling down to do a meeting 2 or 3 weeks into the business, and we stop at a Shoney's in West Virginia. We go to the bathroom, and I'm in one stall, he's in another stall, and some guy gets in the middle. And he starts talking to the dude. Okay, now you understand, me and him talking about, we don't have no conversation in the bathroom. We don't start a hey man, where you from? I'm like, what is he talking? Why is he talking to this dude? Okay. But before we finish handling our business, walk out the bathroom, he got the guy's name, phone number, the guy married, got kids. He got the guy's whole bio. And he took his car, and when we walked out, he said, now that's how it's done. If you're willing to do that, you're going to get rich. I said, man, I ain't got no problem meeting people. I'm not scared of people. I can do that. Now, we don't have to do that today. If you really get on Facebook and go, Barbara Smith, search for Barbara Smith, 400 of them will come up. Think about that for a minute. You want to expand your business to some other country. to the Philippines or go to Hawaii. Like I said, I'm looking for everybody named Larry James in the state of Hawaii. And Facebook, 20 of them will pop up. You don't even have to know them. Send them out a friend request. They'll send it back. Let Brian DeBerger start talking about LinkedIn. All people better on LinkedIn. I mean, there's no shortage of people. So relax. Okay, wait a minute. And then up your no quotient.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
Man.
I read that book on the way to Stuttgart, Germany. I knew this, but see, folks, I'm constantly reading to reinforce this grassroots thing in my mind. I don't ever want to be making $100,000 a month and I don't understand what's going on in the field. That's why I'm always out in the field. And the guy says, you got to get people to reverse that. We've been conditioned to be afraid of no. No, no, no. And when we hear that, man, every molecule in our body, everything just gets all upset because somebody said no. We don't like rejection. We just not used to. Most guys will go all their life, won't even ask a girl for a date because they're scared. Okay? You got to get over that fear, get over that thing no, and realize that no and yes is a part of the same equation. It's like yin and yang. There could be no cold without something being hot. You understand? There wouldn't be no summer if there wasn't winter. Okay, they all go together. Well, there would be no success if there was not failure. So you can't achieve success without at some point encountering failure. Well, you can't get yeses without consistently getting some no's. And the more difficult and challenging the thing is, the more rewarding it is, but the more difficult and challenging it is, the more no's you're going to get. One of Walt Disney's greatest philosophies was he sit in his room and his office or at night, and he'd come up with this idea. And then he'd run it by 10, 15, 20 employees, right? And if the majority of them disliked the idea,
he would do it.
He would do it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. See, all this stuff, but see, they don't teach this stuff in school. You don't know, so you get in networking. You all excited, man, riding the burger carts, meet your glasses guys, you pumped up, you go, this thing makes sense. Who wouldn't want to make money, save, and go? Oh my God. Oh, I'm going to get rich. My friends don't know about, I'm telling you about me now, 1983. My friends, they ain't never seen this. They said, well, they might have seen it. No, nowhere in the world, my friends saw an opportunity for $100 to become a millionaire, and they didn't get in, and they didn't tell me. Ain't nowhere in the world. My friends sharper than that. My friends ain't nowhere in the world. I know my friends have not seen this. Man, I'm about to get rich in here. When I show them, or at least they haven't seen it from me, because when I finish talking to them and show them, they gonna understand. They don't understand it. They must be missing something. Boy, you talking about ignorant people. Okay. My friends responded just like yours will, just like maybe yours have. But that doesn't stop you. If you made up your mind of what you're going to do and you got to stick to your conviction of what you're going to do, don't worry about it. Just get more no's, and I'm going to stop talking. Get them faster. Don't get one no a month. Get 2 no's a month. Don't get 2 no's a week. Get about 10 to 20 no's a day. Set a goal. Say, man, I want to see, have some fun with this thing. I want to see how many no's can I get today? How many can I actually get? I mean, you ain't got to go through a whole elaborate thing. Hey, man, what's your name? Hey, look, I tell you what, my business requires me to meet sharp people, man, and you qualify. Hey, look, here's my card. There's my name. You got a card or someone? Hey, look, let me show you. They start asking questions. And look, I can't go into all of it. I can tell you this. We show people how to build gold from home. We operate in 141 countries. It's incredible. Go to my website, check it out. Let me get your phone number. I'll follow back up with, hey, I got to go. I'm on my way to a meeting. I got to go on my way somewhere. I got to go on my way to the grocery store. Hey, I'm on my way. I got to call my wife. I just get out the conversation as fast as you possibly can. Because after a while, in about 2 minutes, you're going to start selling. And that's not what you want to do. Mr. Deco said, you want to do what? Sort.
Look, I was on a radio show this morning, and the gentleman that invited me on, all well intended, he was doing a great job, and they were quizzing him. And it was like, this carrot bars thing, I'm not really understanding, I'm not getting it. He says, well, now check this out, you guys, to piggyback on what Mr. Best is saying. He said, well, we get compensated because we're educating people on how to improve their financial knowledge, and because the economy is so twisted and they're printing so much money, you know, they're printing billions of dollars every month. And the more that they print dollars, gold goes up. And I was like, and when he finished, they were like, yeah, but I mean, what about the ETFs and the gold stocks? I mean, wouldn't it make sense to, and he said, yeah, investing is great because, you know, you can stand a huge windfall when you invest. And I'm going, and finally, he called me out. And I said, guys, you know, financial education was made hard intentionally. I said, let me ask you a question. Does it make sense to save physical gold? Yeah. Why? I said, why? Because it goes up in value. Would you tell people that? Yeah. Would you tell people if you got paid to tell them that? Yeah. That's carrot bars.
Can be no simpler than that.
The more you talk, the more you lose. We have made this so hard. And it's so simple. We save gold. It's like, yeah, but you know, I mean, wouldn't you want to save some of your money in a 401k? Like, if you want to save money in a 401k, that's fine. $100,000 in 1970 exchanged into paper, it fluctuated. If you put in a 401k, you may have gained 10, 15%. It might be worth $200,000, $300,000 today, but you have to subtract inflation and all of that.
Fees and
fees, broker fees. I said, you could have taken $100,000 by yourself, exchanged it for gold, held it in a safe, taken it and given it to your heirs, and today it'd be worth $4 or $5 million.
Hey, what about the person, Mr. Delco, that put 100,000 carrot bars just a few weeks ago and said, look, he put 100,000 carrot bars, way positioned, got $16,000 of commission back the same day.
Commission on your own gold.
He said, wait a minute, that's a 16% return, not 12 months later. That's day one. And still sitting on several million coins.
Let me
and the gold.
Mr. Best, let me illustrate that. Okay, so we need to up our gold.
Woo.
Let me get some more gold here. Let's do 3 let's do 3 6 grams. So that's gonna give me, what is that? 18 grams. So Mr. Berger, I'm gonna chase Mr. Best off the stream today. Let's put 18 grams in here. Now the reason why I'm doing this right now, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm doing this in my business account. I'm doing this in my business account. I'm gonna get 18 grams of Mr. Mark Pyers tax deductible gold bars. All right, this is my business activity. I'll put it in my cart. This is in my business account that earned commissions by referrals, so I didn't have to do any physical labor. I click the legal. Let's go next, and let's go ahead and acquire this with my Carrot Bars MasterCard. So I never had to take cash out of my pocket, and hopefully this will go through so I won't be embarrassed. Boom, order confirmation. Let's go to Carrot Pay, load e-wallet, let's see. Let's go ahead and load that. 18 grams, there it is. I'll go ahead and load that into my e-wallet. And boom, we're done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 18 times 51 euro. What is that? 18. So, Mr. Alan Austin, my 18 times 51 euro. I just took 918 cash dollars and exchanged it for 918 gold bars, 918 euro worth of gold bars, put it in my e-wallet. I can exchange that for a 750 profit package, or I can add some more to it and get a whim, or I can do whatever I want to because we're in a money system. Go ahead, Mr. Pyers. I feel you itching over there.
Oh, man, you just messed me up. Oh, my God. So you just got a tax deduction for acquiring that cash gold that you take and you share at the events you go to, but it's not going to make it to the events because watch this. Now you take the cash gold, go acquire that tax deductible computer.
Oh.
And you got a tax deduction twice. Oh, God.
Oh my God.
I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to be like Alan Austin. I'm going to shut up. If you're not attending that tax class, followed by Mr. Austin's information. I want to say it in a way that people can really get this. The seed of greatness is not within you.
There you go. That was good.
Guys, it's the movement of money. It's the movement of money. Might just move money, tax deduction. Now, guess what? When he move it again into that tax deductible computer, tax deduction, he gets to keep the computer and he gets to keep the refund from spending tax deductible money. Oh my God, that was powerful.
Like Coach Dwayne Taylor always says, I did it in my business account, which created a commission in my personal account, which is the other part of that. That's actually, I created an income producing activity, moving my money to myself. There is nothing like carrot bars on planet Earth. Nothing. Let me get some of my golden sisters in here. Miss Sherry Brown, I want to call you out real quick because I want to ask you a quick question too. So I'll try to like pose the question where it's not too revealing, but you're a spouse of an entrepreneur husband that has tried to enter the workplace but found that it didn't make sense. Why is that, Ms. Sherry Brown?
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Delco. I'm trying to start my video, but it won't let me.
Let me see if I can push it, but go ahead and start talking. And
Okay.
I'll see if I can send a.
And because I do have an entrepreneur husband and we work in the same household, he was actually asking me a question the same time you were. So can you repeat that again, please?
Wait a minute. Both of y'all at home?
Boy, we stay home.
So Ms. Sherry Brown, you have you've tried to enter the workforce before. As a good wife, you want to help your husband. But why did it make more sense for you to stay home and do carrot bars than to enter the workforce?
Well, actually, I was in the workforce when I met my husband. Before I met him, and after we married, I was still in the workplace. And I'm gonna have to ask my husband if you can be quiet. Husband, can you be quiet? And so anyway, for me, I've been, my history, Mr. Dalco. So I have been in and out of entrepreneurship. I've been in the workforce. I've been into entrepreneurship before, out of the workplace for over 10 years before I was forced back into the workplace, which was like, it was hard to adjust. I mean, when you're out of the workplace for 10 years, a lot of things change, you change. You be like, I ain't going nowhere for somebody to tell me what to do. But so when I entered back in the workforce after being out for over 10 years before I met my husband, that was a struggle all by itself. Okay. So then when I did meet Willie Brown and I was still in the workforce, and he's been an entrepreneur for, oh my God, years doing what he does. And I got kind of jealous about that thing because, I mean, I'm going to work and you home. I'm like, something wrong with that picture. Even though, don't get it twisted, because when you are an entrepreneur, you have to be your own boss. You have to be determined to get up and get at it. You can't wait for nobody to tell you what to do. You got to do what needs to be done. So in some sense, it's not easy, but what you do is you take that training, that part of the training that you were in corporate or whatever your job position is, you want to carry that into your entrepreneurship business. But the blessing is that you have the flexibility where you just couldn't if you wanted to go to lunch for 3 hours, you couldn't do that on your job. But you still want to take that hard work, that schedule that you have in the workforce place into your entrepreneurship, because you want to be the boss of yourself. So long story short, you know, I tried to handle it, but I had the worst position at my job. Went back into the workforce after 10 years. Okay, my job was third shift, weekends. Who does that? The worst, the worst time, the weekend and third shift. Oh, the Lord and I talk every night. I'm like, I can't do this, guy. You're gonna have to make a change. But so I did it for like a month and a half on that job. I mean, guys, what are those drinks, energy drinks that's supposed to keep you up?
What's that, Red Bull?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I went to sleep on my breaks. My breaks used to be like, my shift started at 11 o'clock. My break was for 30 minutes for about at 3 a.m. I went to sleep for 30. I didn't even eat. I'm like, I have to sleep, set my clock to get back up, 30 minutes to go back out there and sit at a desk where nobody hardly entered in and out because you had very few people that was working third shift. Okay. So that was hard all by itself. So, you know, things happen in mysterious ways. They actually fired me.
Wow.
And they fired.
Wait. They, first of all, they make you work crazy hours. Were they paying you enough?
Well, you know, hey, I took you know, you have to know how to do it. So even though the hourly wages wasn't enough, the benefits of the flight benefits made me have enough.
But then they had the nerve to fire you.
Well, they fired me. And the reason why they fired me, I really didn't understand. The company on our security side went furlough. So it was like we had no instructions what to do, who to relieve us from our breaks. You know, it was just so we had to make up our own schedule. So they fired me for incorrectly taking my breaks.
Man.
What the heck?
Whoa. That was not the word you wanted to use.
That was, yeah, exactly what I wanted to use, Mr. Dalco. They fired me for incorrectly taking my breaks. At that time, I was on second shift. Mr. Best is falling out. How you get fired? I mean, guys, hey, I went above and beyond.
An incorrected break. What does that mean? I never heard of that.
Well, actually, when the company went furlough, we used to have a guard. I worked on the inside of the building, and I sat at a desk, and I was security on the inside where I checked people in that, you know, worked for the actual company, and checking, making sure they can properly enter in the building, making sure delivery can be processed, this, that, and the other. At the time, they had guards at the gate. Okay, so the guard side of the business went furlough. So they had no guards, okay? And they was changing over to another company to use for their guards. Well, the guards used to relieve us for our breaks, okay? So well, if there's no guard there, who's gonna relieve us? They wasn't following up with us. So our group, our team, what we did is we coordinated with the company because we was contracted out to another company. So we coordinated with their security of their building and say, okay, we'll put our signs up, but if anybody have any questions to get into the building, this and the other, they will call their security. Well, upon doing that, they said that was the incorrect way to take your break. So if you have nobody to relieve you, you were supposed to sit at that desk through your break. The devil is a lie.
That's some foolishness.
That's some total foolishness. You're supposed to sit at your desk. Only reason, if you had no relief, you were to get up, go to the break room, heat up your microwave food. If you didn't bring your food today, you just didn't eat because you was not supposed to leave the building. So anyway, they fired me because they said that was it was the incorrect way of taking my break. The whole team did it like that. But see, you know, what really happened is that I went from I can't even remember the car I had, but I ended up with a BMW, and I parked it in the front of the building. So they like, how do you make $10 an hour? Carrot baby. How do you make $10 an hour and you riding in a BMW and you park it in the front of the building? So that had a lot to do with it. But it was a blessing because it, just like that tornado, Mr. Best, it dropped me out right where I needed to be at home. And so from that point, you know, I've been home working the business alongside with my husband. But during hard times, my husband, I don't think he'll get mad at me sharing this because it's the truth. When times was rough at the beginning of building our business, he was like, somebody got to get a job. And I'm looking at him and saying, you know, well, who gonna get the job? It's like somebody got to get a job. And when you're dealing with a person that's been an entrepreneur for years, they're not talking about that they're going to go get a job. When they say somebody, they're actually meaning you. They're not including themselves in that equation, believe me. So, you know, hard times or whatever. So I began to fill out applications to go get a job. And I don't even know if I ever shared this with you guys, but I filled out the application to go get a job. You know, it'd take a minute for people to get back with you. Well, in that little minute, business started booming in Carrot Bars. And I get this call about this job. So what do? What I did is I took the job. And I'm telling you why I took the job. Because I refuse to have my husband to come back to me to say, if something was to happen and we had to go through another trial tribulation, that you had an opportunity to take that job and you didn't. And I worked as a traffic director, directing school traffic for schools, split shift. You guys, I didn't miss a beat. I would go to work in the morning, direct the traffic, come home in time enough, get on the power call, do the power call, end the power call, be back at the school by 2 o'clock to direct the kids out. Okay? So you got to do what you got to do to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But that job I ended because they went from wanting to put me on a 4-lane street to a 2-lane street where tractors, the trucks that Tanisha used to drive come through. And I refused. Why? They wasn't even giving you any kind of medical benefits. Nothing.
Wow.
Only thing you got was paid money. And I said no. So I ended that and I came home and I'm telling you, it's been a blessing to be home in the business with my husband. And one thing I want to touch on about what Mr. Pyers has said, I'm telling you, I got that card when Mr. Zeitz first put it out for Bahamas. I'm like, in my heart, I'm like, yes, I need to support that. But just like Mr. Best, I had no idea there was 100% taxable. Yes. So thank you for that. And I wish my screen was showing because I don't know if it's not unlocking me, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The cards that are customized cards. If you are a wealth builder, why do you not have a WBW customized wealth builders card? I have mine in my hand to show. The screen is not up. I know you have one, Mr. Michael Dalco.
Yes, I do.
So if you could show yours.
Let me run and get it. It's in my wallet.
Okay. First of all, as Mr. Parrish says, that's tax deductible, but that's also that card when you're talking to individuals. And, you know, sometimes I tell them about our team because it's a relationship business. I tell them about the culture. but I'm able to show them a product with Wealth Builders Worldwide name. There you go. That's the card. I'm able to show them this. Our mission to provide tools required to help people achieve their dreams is on the back. And I'm able to say, you know, we have these awesome events like Let's Go Weekend. We have a daily power call. We have this freedom call with the leaders and founders of our team, which is at the bottom, Ty and Val Best. We have global webinars, and I'm able to show them in a card, on a card with a gram of gold. You guys, ow, we say ow, but are you a gladiator? Are you really, truly a gladiator? I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing to represent what we are saying? That's not to bash anybody, but from what Mr. Parrish say, that is 100% tax deductible for your business? Why don't you have a WBW card? Mr. Michael Delco, I thank you for so much for allowing me to be on this panel today. Shout out to Ms. Tanisha Glaspie, Mr. Rodney Berger, Mr. Mark Pyers, and Mr. Alan Austin, who was on here. And you, Mr. Best, man, I love you.
Thank you, Ms. Sherry. And somebody's asking Mr. Best, where is the card? Where do you find it in the back office? We'll get to that in just a second. Looks like Mr. Berger is back for a total.
Yes, yes. And thank you, Sherry Brown, for sharing. You know, I don't think people realize we all have a story. And that's the power of what we have our hands on. One thing I was really touched by what Mr. Best was saying, and it was said earlier today as well, we don't need people. We want people to be a part of what we're doing. And so I'll never forget, a couple years ago, I loved it. Dwayne, the coach, Taylor, he said, you can't go out there acting like you're desperate because people are going to smell it all over you, that desperation. So anyway, so I appreciate that being said today because we don't need people. We want them. And something I just want to share real quick too, you know, Mr. Best, you mentioned something about LinkedIn. Well, you know, the more that you put yourself out there and the more you reach out to people and you start getting shared connection. A gentleman reached out to me, wanted to get connected with me. He thought that I was connected with somebody else. He wanted to get connected with me. He was from a country I don't want to mention because I don't want to give it out who it is, but he's from another country that I told myself I wasn't going to bring on anybody or reach out to people from that country just because I had a couple of crazy experiences. So anyway, my spirit said, don't judge him. I said, all right. So I connected with him and he saw my greeting. He said, I got to check this gold thing. And he signed up. I did a live video connection with him from his country. And he said, Mr. Best, as like in interviewing people, he said all the right words. I was glad that I connected with him. He is now ready to build wealth and saving gold. And I love how he said it. He said, I want to evangelize about sharing this gold system with everybody. So if people are going to start coming to you guys, just be persistent and consistent. So at 5:30, are you guys ready for the, I don't have a drum.
Ready.
All right, so at 5:30, we have increased up to 180.3 grams. Guys, that is amazing. And again, this is all last minute today, last minute notice, but I'm excited to see the wealth generation, being generated in these families that are getting gold today. So Mr. Delco, thank you. Back to you. We'll have the last report at 6 o'clock. And back to you, Mr. Delco.
Hey, and Mr. Ray, I want to remind folks, that's just folks who report. 'Cause I told people, I said, look, you may not be able to get on the 4 to 6. It's not a job thing. If you can make it great. Glad to have you there. I said, but anytime throughout this day before 6 o'clock, go get a gram of gold. Because we want all those grams to hit before the end of the week period or before 6 p.m. today. And then also it'll be reflected in people's commissions next week as well. So we could have thousands of grams of gold ordered throughout the day. They just haven't put it on the Gram-A-Thon or they're not on this call. Okay, so we'll see what happens. People know what happens. I know a lot of activities happen because I see it in my back office. But I got to say something, Miss Sherry Brown. I got to tell you, Miss Sherry, I was laughing so hard because as you was telling your story, Miss Rhonda Gail Turner goes with that. She says, shoot, I got fired for going to my own wedding. And then, wait a minute, and then I'm laughing at her before I get finished. Janice types in, hey, the same thing happened to me. I'm thinking to myself, who fired somebody for going to their own wedding?
Wow.
I'm going, I said, man, I done heard some of everything. You fire somebody for going to their own wedding. You got to, you got to have some kind of insensitivity going on there. I'm hardcore, but I'm like, I'm not quite that hardcore. I mean, look, if you go to your wedding that day, the job won't be here when you get back. Somebody. Anyway,
Oh, like one of those jobs that says, they say, you can't promote carrot bars or we'll take your license.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What?
Or we'll stop your $400 a month disability. I don't want to mess with my disability, man. I'm like $600 a month? Really? Ultimately, an opportunity coming away, and you scared of losing $600 a month. I mean, society got us. It's just, that's why I see so much time on this attitude thing, man. I let somebody else teach them about the phone. Okay, if I could unlock this thinking process that has so many people in bondage, and people all the time ask me what. I won't let you, man. Mr. Ducker, go ahead, man.
No. I think you need to talk about that, man. But that's good.
See, sometimes I feel like I'm just battling because I be saying, it's about getting this mindset right. So, Mr. Berger, this morning, you played the Magic Thinking Big, man. I'm having flashbacks. I was introduced to that book in 1983. That book was printed in 1959.
Wow.
The information on succeeding is not a secret. It's out there. All a person can do is pick up any book. I mean, The Richest Man of Babylon, like what, 1929, something like that, 1927, 28. That means almost 100 years, a book is about this saying, you want to get wealthy? Pay yourself first. I've been screaming about you should have a home-based business, save on taxes, since I was introduced. But I'm not the first person. Somebody's been talking about that. That means I've been talking about that since the 70s, since the 60s. Okay? And what the scriptures say, the poor will always be amongst us. The poor will always be amongst us because no matter what we have in our hands, we can't save everybody. Last night, before I got interrupted, Mr. Doug, I was about to say something, and I'm going to say it on this call, especially for the guests. You could spend your entire career in networking. I don't want to say network marketing because we're not a network marketing company. By law, we're not a network marketing company, but we are a networking company. You can spend your entire life in networking and never find yourself in the situation you're in with carrot bars right now. Okay? And what I was about to say last night was, it takes forever to find a place in this industry that you can classify and with confidence call home. Now, you may not understand that. That's why there's so many people who've been in 5, 10, 15, 20-something deals. But my wife and I was talking about this last week, and we was talking about it again last night and again this morning. I said, honey, you think about this. 35, this March coming to be 36 years. I'm sorry, it'll be 37. Lord, I've been saying 35 for so long. I'm rather in my 36th year, and this March will be 37. So over 35 years, we've been in this industry, folks, since 1983. And do you understand now? Watch this. Carrot bars is the second longest run, second longest tenure in any company in 35 years, including the 3 that we've owned. It is a miracle. It is a feat of miraculous proportions for a company in this industry to get 8 or 9 years old. And there's only a handful, out of 1,000, we ain't talking about 1 or 2. See, out of the thousands, there's probably less than 10 in the entire industry that are over 10 years old around the world. Okay? And I mean in the whole direct sales field. I'm not even talking about just multi-level. I'm talking about Avon, through Avon, that's a direct sales company. I ain't gonna call the names, but anyway, I ain't gonna advertise for them. But the point I'm getting at is this: what you have in your hand is something spectacular. My wife and I spent 10 years in the first company we were involved in, and every other company we've had anywhere from a 2 to 3 year run in, and 3 years things it just implodes. We've been in Karat-Bars in November 8th, it'll be 6 years. Okay? In order for you to build an organization of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, the company has to be here. The company has to stay here. And there's only one thing that assures you that the company is going to be here. And that's the character, the heart, the integrity of the owner. I don't care what Karat-Bars experiences. I don't care what Karat-Bars go through. As long as Dr. Harold Seitz is in this fight, I'm in this fight. You need to know that. Let me tell you, that company they call the Big A. They tried to shut it down in the 60s. They tried to shut it down in the 70s. It got all kinds of negative. The Canadian government literally had to pay the Canadian government $26 million because they said they had avoided taxes for so many years and blah, blah, blah. To settle their argument, they had to pay them $26 million to quiet that noise. Then 60 Minutes did a job on them. Took the company from 1.5 million to 1.5 billion to $1 billion, and they survived that. Okay, and I mean, it pretty much ruined the industry. Not ruined it, but it made it very tough to build that business in the 80s in this country by the time the radio media and all that stuff got, and the media and all the population. And by the way, and this high failure rate. See, one of the things that challenges us as networkers, almost all of us, if you're over 40, 45, 50 years old, we know somebody, if not ourselves, who've tried this business before and failed. And we base our success on the fact that our friend Joe over there tried it and he didn't make any money. Well, see, the Big A got to a place where by the time it got to the 80s and 60 Minutes got through it, you couldn't even tell people the name of the company. You could, by the fact, there before 60 Minutes the name, they had to secretly introduce people to it. By the time we get into the 70s, people knew at that point, if somebody invited you to the house for a meeting, you was going to hear about selling some soap. And many people missed out on the opportunity because of that. And many people miss out on network marketing because they know if an average Joe like me or anyone on this call invites you an opportunity, you know it's some kind of networking or pyramid concept. And so you think you know what you know. You know nothing about it. Ignorance is a doorknob, but just like I was, 35 years ago. And so there have been thousands of companies come and thousands go. And I'm here to tell you, Karat-Bars is the best. It's most unique. And by the way, there is a single company, I'm giving you history, folks. You don't know this stuff. A lot of companies come and gone, and there hasn't been a single company in this industry that's made any noise since 2005. I mean, in worldwide noise since 2005. We're talking about 15 years ago. I'm talking to networkers every single day of the week, and many of them have never heard of Karat-Bars. These are professionals who make their living on this, who've written books, who've read books, who've written books, who've been full-time in this for 5, 10, 15 years, and they don't even know we're in business.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And Mr. Best, along that line, I was talking to one of our leaders, and literally we counted the number of generations of referrals they were away from me. And then we added on top of that how far they were away from Shirley Goldberg. Shirley Goldberg with like 700,000 affiliates. We counted down who she sponsored, and they sponsored to get to you, then to my sponsor, then me, and all the way. When it got down to them, they were like 30 generations away from Shirley Goldberg and still making over 6 figures a year in Karat-Bars. We've never seen this many people make not just money, crazy money. Yeah. You were in that other run for 10 years. How long did it take you did you ever get to 6 figures a year?
No.
Never.
No. My best year was after 6 years, made $49,000 part-time. Part-time. And by the way, and that was part-time 5 or 6 nights a week. So it was really full-time. I was putting in easily 40 hours a week. I was putting 40 hours plus a week in my job and 40 hours plus a week in that business because we didn't have all this technology. Well, we sit here laughing and then in the comfort of our home. Mark Powell's he out at the mall somewhere. I don't know where Dr. Cedric Roselle is. He probably running around downtown DC somewhere. I mean, come on. I'm sitting in the air conditioning. That was what we were doing back in the 80s. Okay, we had to get in our car. We had to go somewhere and see somebody. Dr. Roselle know what I'm talking about.
I brought Dr. Roselle in because he put a number in the chat room. I just kind of trying to figure out, Brad, you over there, you in DC bundling gold? I mean, did you drop 54 grams in?
Yeah, I had to go ahead and just drop 54 grams in there because you did 18.
Man, I'm getting off the stream. You
Hey, listen,
insulting
man.
me. I'm getting off.
This what we got to do. I mean, hey, man, I copied the right cat, man. You guys putting up all these numbers. I'm like, let me go in here and let me take the advice of Mark Pyers and go ahead and get this in my mom's account. Why don't I do that? You know? And so did that, and I'm really happy about it.
Hey, you getting paid to pay yourself.
I'm getting paid to pay myself. That's what I do. That's what I do, yeah. That's what we all do. Hey, man, Carrot Bars International. I mean, Wealth Builders Worldwide. I mean, this is incredible to be on this. I mean, to do this Gram-A-Thon today, I think was just apropos. It's just perfect thing to do. And then we got such a tremendous panel. I mean, you, Mr. Best, Mr. Dalco, Sherry Brown. Miss Sherry Brown, you had me rolling. I just want you to know. I was crying. I used to work for Barton Security down there in Atlanta. And I tell you, they do treat you like that. They treat you like
Barton is the one that took over the security at the gate. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry that they did. Hopefully I wasn't a part of that whole program, but I tell you what, they treated me awful. They did the same thing with me. I can't remember why they fired me, but what they wouldn't do, Mr. Bass, you cracking up. Mr. Bass,
you're supposed to get fired.
Mr. Bass hadn't had a job for 35 years.
He can't remember what that's
like. Getting fired stuff.
They fired me. Hey, listen, they fired me because I kept pressing them to do my 6-month review. 11 months later, they like, you so busy asking about this 6-month review. Well, we got some paperwork for you to sign. They wrote me up. I had a stack about this high. They trumped up all these things that I supposedly hadn't done. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I went ahead and got some cash gold, about 54 grams, so that I can.
Yeah, you broke the system, man. You shut the computer down. You can't even log in.
It's down. It won't let me. I'm trying to get that WIM, and it wouldn't let me in there. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I had to go ahead. I copied the right cat, and they getting gold. Mr. Dalco got gold. Mr. Best got, everybody getting gold. I said, let me go ahead and get some gold.
Nobody tell you get a kilogram.
I'm telling you. Look, I'm ready to go ahead and get some more. I'm like, okay, you're gonna do me like that.
Sergio broke the system, man. I can't even log in.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Doc. So I be playing in mine because I'm saying, wait a minute now. I watch my dual team payout.
I know what you're about to say. I
watch my dual team payout. I said, I can wait till next week.
Right. Hey, listen, you notice, that's why I said, hey, listen, that's why I said my mom's account and not my business account.
Right. I'm like, see, you man, you got to think about this stuff.
Yeah, hey, you got to be smart about it. Now, right now, 6 o'clock, 6:01, I can go back to my business account.
There you go. I'm like, man, please.
Hey,
I watched Mr. Delco. I called Mr. Delco. So Mr. Delco, he got me down to about $1.25 on his doggone my matching bonus. You just slow down, man.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, look, man, Rodney Roach. I mean, I got to talk to him sometimes and say, hey, man, let me know when you about to do something big like that so I don't go in the wrong account and get
Right.
Rodney, man, Mr. Amazing, man, that brother, we call him Psycho Man, man. He's doing the Tour de France, brother. Hey, man, so we having a good time up here. We looking forward to seeing everybody. Let's Go weekend next week. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be fire. Yes. I can't wait. Can't wait to get down there.
It will be epic. Mr. Berger, we're right at the top of the hour. If you can get us another total. We have kind of crashed the system right now, but that's okay. It's never down for long, as Ms. Glassby just said. Keep trying. Mr. Berger, if you give us a total, we can wrap up the online portion of our Gram-A-Thon, but we'll keep pressing throughout the night, and we'll give a total on tomorrow's power call, see where we ended up.
Okay, so Mr. Delco, give me like about 2 minutes to wrap up the total, and I'll be right back with you with the screen.
All right, Mr. Best, you can give us some last words before Mr. Berger gives us that last total.
Hey man, I'm just excited for everybody. I appreciate everybody who took the time out on this last minute. I mean, it's just crossed my mind early this morning. We ought to try to do something like this once a month. I guarantee we get some momentum up doing once a month. People start planning. We'll get to where we'll do 5,000 and 10,000 grams in a day, in one day. Okay, that's like collective marketing, man. The collective economics. We can throw some power through the system all in one day. Okay, but anyway, I appreciate everybody for joining us on this last minute Gram-A-Thon, or really training session to talk about the emphasis. And thank you, Dr. Rozelle, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Berger, Ms. Tanisha Glass, as always. Get some rest, Tanisha. And thank you, Sherry Brown and Willie Brown. Folks, keep this thing simple. Start playing some numbers about what would your team look like when 1,000 people in your team will auto save just for 1 gram, special 1 classic gram gold a month. That's, like I said, that's $60,000. 60,000. Well, now, what is a gram of gold now? About 70 bucks? I don't even know what it is. I'm just using 6 as a roundabout number. But even if it was cash gold, that's 40,000. It's $40,000 of volume times 12. That's what, $500,000 all year business, right there alone, just in people saving gold. Okay, now you up that number to what? 10,000. All of a sudden, you got a $4.8 million. Or you just keep people doing that one fundamental thing: save themselves some gold every single month. That's it. That's it. And everything else on top of that, man, the K1 phone, the WIM with him laptop, the K merchant services, all the fees we will get as our system and stuff start running full steam. I mean, please, all the new stuff that's coming out from the mind of a video tumor. I mean, folks, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, you will be a millionaire by accident, okay, or a millionaire by choice, or a millionaire by obedience, whichever one. Okay, I just said I didn't know what I was doing. I just know I need to get the card. And then Mr. Mark Pyers came up and said, "Hey, because I got those cards, here are all the benefits." I just learned how to follow instructions. Okay, I figured if Dr. Harold Sykes put them back there, there's a purpose, and I knew the benefit and how it would benefit the Bahamas. We go get some. He said, get the phone. I got a bunch of them. He said, get the what? Believe me, when the dust settles, I'm probably gonna have 5 to 10 whims or with hims in my house. Okay, I need to stop renaming the corporate products. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. But the products with Dr. Harold Sykes.
I want to throw this in too. So, Ty Best and myself, we're on the Leadership Council at Karatbars International. Sometimes we get a little bit of information slightly ahead of you guys. We got the information about the WIM before you guys. We're in NDAs. We couldn't share it because of how things work and because of the marketing schedules that they have the company on. They give us information so we'll know how to drive and govern and direct the teams. And Mr. Best has massive team. And so they give us that information so we can sort of trigger you to know what to do for what's coming. And I love being on Wealth Builders Worldwide because Mr. Best is the master of simplicity. And he has figured out the one key that'll put you in front of, just 2 keys, that'll put you in front of everything that's gonna happen. And it's a lot that's happening. Here they are. And Mr. Best, forgive me for doing this little bit of addition to your statement. Get all the cash gold you can get. Mr. Best number says get all the gold to get cash gold. Please hear me loud and clear.
Cash gold.
Cash gold. Get 1 gram of classic in your own account every month. 1 gram, auto exchange. And then just get all the, Dr. Rozelle just got 54 grams. Get all the, if you got money laying aside that you were gonna figure out to do something with, don't spend it, don't blow it, get cash gold. And then number 2, tell all the people. If you do those 2 things, when we say tell the people, what we mean is share a video. Share the realmoney.info with every living, breathing. Mr. Best says 98.6 and breathing. And somebody, I wish I could remember who it was so I could give you your credit. I think it might have been Rhonda Gail Turner Garner who said, I even take people who got a fever. She'll sign up people who are 100 degrees as long as you're breathing. so, so sign up everybody that's breathing, right? You share that video with them and see if it makes sense to them. Get all the cash go you can get and share that video with everybody who has breath, even bad breath. Because bad breath is better than no breath at all. Mr. Berger, over to you.
Mr. Delco, you're hilarious. All right, so. Oh, God. All right, so. All right, I better check my breath. Okay, I'm all right. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at 6 o'clock hour, and Dr. Rizal, come on, man, you got to add your count. Your count wasn't added in here yet. So here's what we have before Dr. Rizal, and his 54 gram? All right, so here's what we got. We got 222.6 grams. And guys, that's pretty amazing, Mr. Bass, considering this was the last minute Gram-A-Thon today. And that's awesome, 222.6 grams. And so here's what we're gonna do, guys. As Mr. Dalco said, tomorrow we will announce the total count as of 11:59.59 p.m. tonight. So guys, keep submitting, because I heard some of my business partners, our business partners are texting me saying they're having trouble getting onto Care Bars. I think we crashed their system. So keep getting back in throughout the rest of the evening, and then we'll put the final grand total on the power call tomorrow. And Mr. Delco, Mr. Beth, Sherry Brown, Dr. Rizal, Alan Austin, Tanisha Glaspie, everybody, it was my honor to be with you guys and hosting this amazing Gram-A-Thon. Back to you.
We'll give you last words, Mr. Best, always.
Hey, I want to start talking. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All
See,
right,
let's go weekend.
Let's go.
Let's
weekend.
go. Let's go.
www.letsgoweekend.com. Go there right now. Get your tickets for the event right here. Make sure you go up here and click on course schedule. Make sure you register for these classes. They're strategic. We made sure that you had the tools you need. So financial basics with Mr. Alan Austin, home-based business tax advantages with Mr. Mark Pyers, crypto school with Crypto Steve, team building with the amazing leader, Mr. Kevin Thompson, Carrot Bar's back office with Shelby Casey Thompson, tech tools with me, Mike Delco, recruiting mastery with the recruiting master himself, Al Murray, and the gladiator session on Thursday night. Unfortunately, we only have one gladiator session. That's Thursday night. Mr. Best, that's unfair. I'm gonna have to do something about that next year. I gotta figure out how to get another gladiator session in. We might do it on a Wednesday night, because Friday night starts the presentation, and then Friday, same classes, just you can, the same time. So if you did financial basics at 9 o'clock on Thursday, you can do home-based business at 9 o'clock on Friday. So you can get both the classes in. Go and book your classes, then save the date for Let's Go Weekend 10, April 2nd through the 4th. And we're gonna take our cruise on the 6th through the 10th. We'll be flying out to Miami on the 5th and cruising on the 6th through the 10th. Call this number right here and press option 4, give them this booking number to book your flights. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's been an awesome Gram-A-Thon today. It's been too long since we've done this, so let's make sure we do this again real soon. Ms. Tanisha Glaspie, thank you for always holding down the fort behind the scenes. I know you don't like to come out front, but thank you for doing everything you do. Dr. Rozelle, thank you for your contribution. Mr. Mark Pyers, what can we say about you? Mr. Alan Austin had to jump off. Thank you, sir. Ms. Sherry Brown, impassioned testimony from you today. I believe you touched and helped a lot of people. Mr. Rodney Berger, of course, you are the magic. Mr. Best, over to you. Last word.
Dream big. Thank you, Mr. Delco, for all you do. I thank everyone. I mean it. Dream big. Don't let anybody see your dream and believe. You can be a millionaire by choice, but you can also be a millionaire by accident. Hey, God bless, guys. See you tomorrow morning, 10:45.
Have a good day, everybody.